Harun al-Rashid had witnessed many strange things in his life, but never a woman who sang with such sorrow that she collapsed unconscious from grief. And never a sister who would mercilessly whip 2 dogs, only to pull them into her arms moments later and weep over them. That night, the Caliph realized that behind the faces of these 2 sisters lay a secret so dark, so painful, that perhaps it was never meant to be told. Harun al-Rashid said, "Amina, Zubaida, I saw sorrow in your house last night. Now speak the truth. Reveal the truth of your lives. Tell me your stories." For a moment, silence filled the hall. Amina slowly lifted her head. Her voice trembled as she began. "My lord, I will tell you everything. I was a woman who never betrayed her husband, yet I lost everything for a betrayal I never committed. The scars you saw upon my body are the price of a crime I did not commit. I am Amina, a woman whose love led her straight to hell. After my father's death, I inherited a vast fortune, a fortune that made a beautiful young woman like me a sweet and dangerous target in a city like Baghdad. Before the first year of my marriage ended, my husband died, and all his wealth, 99,000 gold coins, became mine. Life was comfortable, peaceful, and lonely. One day, a strange old woman entered my home. She was crying, kissing the ground, and said, "My daughter is getting married tonight, but we are strangers in this city. If you, the gracious lady, attend the wedding, our honor will be saved." Her words shook my heart. I agreed. I did not know I had stepped onto a path that would consume my life. When night came, I set out with the old woman in my finest clothes. We entered a mansion with a sign on the door. "This is the place of eternal pleasure." Inside the hall, a beautiful lady welcomed me. She seated me on a diamond-studded couch and said, "My brother, he is a handsome young man, and his heart is lost at the sight of your beauty. You must save him." Through marriage, I was astonished, trapped between respect and morality, and with a shameful silence, I consented. The young man entered, so handsome and magnificent that my heart trembled. We spoke, and I fell in love with him. The marriage was officiated, 4 witnesses signed, and he asked only one condition of me: do not speak to any man. Do not show yourself to any man. I thought perhaps a sign of a lover's jealousy. I didn't know that this condition was the key to the nightmare awaiting me. One day, I asked my husband's permission to go out to buy fabric. The same old woman took me to a fabric shop. The shopkeeper asked, "What do you want?" I told the old woman, I promised my husband I wouldn't speak to any man or show myself, but she said, "Talk to the seller yourself." I chose the finest fabric, and the shopkeeper, instead of asking for money, said, "The price of the fabric is a kiss from the customer's cheek." I was furious and told the old woman he was rude, but she insisted I just tilt my face slightly. And at that moment, the shopkeeper, instead of a kiss, bit my face. Blood flowed. I fainted, and he ran away. If you've stayed with me until now, you have a heart that understands the pain of women like Amina. Please give a like to bring these forgotten stories back to life, and in the comments tell me, how did you feel up to this point? When my husband came home that night, he saw my bandaged face and asked what happened. I, out of fear, lied. I said a porter hit me with a tree branch. My husband shouted, "Tomorrow I will hang all the porters in the city." I was terrified. I said a street vendor pushed me. He said, "I will execute all the street vendors." In the end, I didn't tell the truth, and he knew I was lying. He called 3 slaves. One held my legs, one held my head, the third held the axe. And my husband said, "Split this woman in 2. Out of fear, I did not scream. I just cried. I just wanted to survive. The old woman who raised him entered. She fell at his feet, begged him. My husband said, "I won't kill her for your sake, but the marks must remain on her body." Harun al-Rashid said, "Zubaida, I saw sorrow in your house last night. Now speak the truth. Reveal the truth of your lives. Tell me your stories." They threw me into the sea with the man I loved. I survived, but what rose from the waves was not just me. This is my forbidden tale. After my parents passed away, a great inheritance came to me and my 2 sisters. Many men sought our hands, promising love and fortune, but I knew love cannot be bought with words. None could conquer my heart, so I swore, until I found true love, I would never marry. And thus, I became a silk merchant, a woman in a man's world. But my sisters, they were passionate, reckless, hopelessly in love with love itself. They adored the scent of men, the warmth of their glances, the sweetness of their lies. They married, and soon their husbands squandered everything. They returned to me, broken and ashamed. "Zubaida," they said, "we were wrong. Forgive us." I took their hands and said, "It's never too late. You will rise again." But soon, their hearts longed for love once more. They said, "We are still young. We need husbands." I warned them. They did not listen. Again they married. And again they lost everything. They came back once more, empty-handed and empty-hearted. Sometime later, I decided to travel to India for trade. My sisters joined me. We sailed from the port of Basra and after 25 days reached a strange city behind a tall mountain. From afar, it looked alive, but its silence was haunting. I took a small boat to the shore. The first thing I saw were people standing motionless. As I came closer, I realized they were all turned to stone. Shops closed, chimneys cold, the wind whispering death through empty streets. I walked through the silent streets until I reached a magnificent palace with a golden gate. A curtain of silk hung before it, swaying softly in the breeze, as if calling me inside. I stepped in. Time itself seemed frozen. Then I heard a voice, the recitation of the Quran. Following the sound, I entered a room. A young, handsome prince sat upon a small stool, reciting softly. I whispered, "Thank God, someone is alive. Tell me, what has happened to this city?" He raised his eyes, deep, calm, and sorrowful. "I am the only one left," he said. "My father was the king, but his people ignored his warnings. For 3 years they turned from faith, and in one night, God turned them all to stone. Only my faith preserved me." We sat together for hours, speaking in low voices. There was peace in his words, and something in his gaze that made my heart tremble. With every breath, we grew closer. I felt a powerful pull toward him, and he confessed his affection for me. We fell in love. The next day, we decided to return to Baghdad. Before leaving, we gathered all the jewels and gold of the palace onto our ship. Diamonds that sparkled like stars, necklaces of pure gold. The ship overflowed with wealth. Yet none of it mattered to me. His gaze was worth more than all the treasures of the earth. During the voyage, we walked for hours, speaking of dreams and tomorrows. At night, beneath the moonlight, he would gently take my hand and whisper, "Zubaida, you have not only captured my heart, but awakened my soul. I want to spend my life with you." I smiled and answered, "And I will never let anything come between us." But my sisters? They noticed. The stolen glances, the laughter, the closeness between us, their hearts burned with envy. They asked, "Zubaida, what will you do once we reach Baghdad?" I replied softly, "We will begin a new life together, filled with love and joy. The prince smiled and said, "Zubaida will be the lady of my life, my love, my salvation." Their faces turned pale. Jealousy devoured them from within, and that night, under the full moon, they made a choice that destroyed everything. The night was calm and bright. I sat beside the prince. Sleep took me gently, until cold water shocked me awake. The sea roared around me. I heard my prince shouting my name, but before I could reach him, a great wave tore us apart. My sisters, they had thrown us into the sea while we slept. I swam with all my strength, not from fear, but from heartbreak. Why, my sisters? Why him? At last I reached the shore, alone. Exhausted, I lay beneath a tree and drifted into sleep. With sunrise, a strange sound woke me, a hiss and the beating of wings. I opened my eyes to a sight I'll never forget. A great winged serpent was battling another snake. The winged one was trapped. The other had seized its tail. Without hesitation, I picked up a stone and struck the attacker with all my strength. It fell lifeless, and the winged serpent was free. It looked at me for a moment, eyes gleaming with gratitude, then spread its wings and soared into the sky with royal grace. Exhausted, I fell asleep once more. When I awoke, a stunning woman sat beside me, her skin dark as midnight, her eyes bright as stars. In her hands, she held 2 black dogs on chains. With a calm voice, she said, "I am the serpent you saved, Zubaida. Your courage spared my life, and now I've come to restore what was stolen from you." With a calm voice, she said, "I am the serpent you saved, Zubaida. Your courage spared my life, and now I've come to restore what was stolen from you." She lifted her hand and continued, "I am the black fairy of the sea. I know what your sisters did. I have returned all your jewels and gold to your home in Baghdad. And these 2 dogs," she said, looking coldly, "these are your sisters. I have cursed them to wear the form they deserve. But you must continue their punishment, each night 100 lashes. If you refuse, you too will share their fate." Then she took me under one arm and the dogs under the other, spread her wings, and in a single breath we were back in Baghdad, in my home. Since that night, I have been bound to strike these 2 black dogs 100 times each night. They cry, they tremble, and with every lash my heart burns. When it ends, I hold them close, kiss their wounds, and heal them with balm, because though they betrayed me, they are still my sisters. When the truth was finally revealed, Harun al-Rashid ordered immediate justice. Amina's husband was informed, and the misunderstanding was resolved. Amina returned to her husband, and peace was restored. And in the heart of the court, Harun al-Rashid, moved by Zubaida's wisdom and presence, declared his love for her. Zubaida accepted. Broken lives were restored, and fate found its balance once more. But this is only one tale from the endless wonders of 1001 Nights. Tell me, which moment shocked you the most? And if you want more stories like this from ancient Baghdad, don't forget to like, comment, and follow for the next tale.